Well, I got a free evening, which means more auto repair. And on what else but the bow tie, which is what I've affectionately come to call our 2010 Cobalt, because it wears a bow tie. Never mind. I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, tonight we're doing rear suspension, as in springs, these things here, and struts right here, because they're, they're leaking. They're in bad shape. Things are bouncing. And the springs, I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're broken off right there. Broken. So we're gonna release the strut. I don't really know how. I've never seen this. I think it's a bolt right there, and I believe a bolt right there. And we're gonna put a jack underneath here to support that before we do, and we're gonna take it apart. So here we go. In my case, this is an 18 mil head on this bolt, and the torque from the factory, I'm told, 66 foot-pounds. This one's a 21, I think. Yeah, that's a 21. And it's like 85 maybe. I'll check it before we do it. So we're gonna go ahead and crack those off, get that strut out of there, and then that should let that come down far enough to wrestle the spring out. There's that. Switch this out. Like that. Is that bolt seized in there? That is the question. Nope, it's gonna come out. How nice. So if we let our jack down a little bit, does it let it, it's on a stand, don't worry, does it let us get the spring out of there? Does it? Oh, it's going to. Perfect. This is kind of sort of ish complaining about coming out, and I need it. There's no threads right on the end. So if I put it on something solid and just push down and spin it at the same time, hopefully it will come out. We'll see. Look at that, it did. Perfect. I've never done this job before. In fact, one of the reasons I put these videos up is to show you that if a knucklehead like me can do it, you might be able to too. This came out of there in that fashion. So we're gonna pull it right straight out. We're gonna have a look at this mount, because sometimes mounts have like a directional thing you got to pay attention to that goes out. This was out. I'm going to take a little marker. I've got one in my toolkit, and I'm going to mark right here. I don't even know if this matters, but I don't want to find out later that it does. That this was out right here toward the outside of the car, and then we can make some observations about it here. Okay, to get this out, I just put some feet on the spring, one hand here, and went with some good old-fashioned brute force straight up, and off it came. Give it a look. It's a little bit worn, but we're gonna reuse it because that's how I roll. And it doesn't look to have any directional features, best I can tell, which is great news. Now there's one on the bottom. Yeah, and I'm no expert. You don't have to do what I did, but in my case, I decided, why create a problem I don't have? And I just took the spring off. I'm leaving that exactly where it is. New spring, new strut. I'm gonna button this side up, do the same thing to the other side. Okay, I got my new spring. They appear to be the same top to bottom, I would say, I hope. So we're just gonna look at where it was resting down here before. Put it right back on the same way. That's the goal. So I'm gonna get the bottom on, and then I'll work at the top. Got the bottom in place. It went on quite easy. Here's the top. Here's my mount. Just to keep everything the same, I've lined my two marks up. You can see them right there. They were facing out. So that's gonna go right on here, and then everything's gonna go in place. So, and you can see, actually, this is where the old one rested, and it's gonna hit right about the same spot on the new one, which should, keep everything copacetic, we hope. That's seated. I'm gonna shove down on the suspension. You can put a little weight down on it, and that'll slide right underneath where you need it to go. And right into place. And right into place. And right, you get the idea. There we go. There it is. Now we're gonna put our shock in right here and right here. Now, I know I've been saying strut. Listen, just get over it, all right? I already told you that I'm not an expert. It's not a strut, it's a shock, okay? And there is a difference, and it's an important difference, and sometimes people just misspeak. So, I'm gonna put my shock in. Okay, bottom bolt's in. This is the top bolt. Now, I put a little bit of never seize here, because that's what would seize in the bushing. And a little bit of thread locker on the end. I don't know, like, I don't have a book. It doesn't say you have to do that. I just don't like seize stuff. And then I'm gonna take my jack and I'm just gonna, with it underneath my spring, we're just gonna go up just a little bit, just to line that hole up, because there's no sense fighting with it. There we go. Now, top bolt in, we'll get it started in, and then we'll run it in with a ratchet. So, you know, I'm not gonna use an impact, I'd strip it out. And then I'd have problems that I didn't already have. And who wants to make problems for themselves? I mean, I have enough of those. I don't know about you. So we'll get it in there, and then we're gonna torque it to the spec according to the random people on the internet that you really probably shouldn't trust, including this guy, because you don't know me. But I'll tell you what they say. Run this one in with a ratchet, because if I'm gonna cross thread it, I want to at least feel myself doing it. I don't want the old Milwaukee to destroy it on me. I want it to be my own fault. That's where I'm at. Top bolt, according to a bunch of random Joes on some forum on the internet that I've never met, is 66 foot-pounds. So we're gonna take it to 66. There it is. And the bottom one, according to the same random Joe, is 81. Now that's 66, I forgot to adjust my wrench. But 66, 81, according to a guy, or girl, I don't know. It's just a forum name that I've never met. So you decide whether you trust the random folks on the internet or not. But I would encourage you, look it up for yourself, because, you know, why would you trust a guy you've never met? There's 81 right there, perfect. Got it. Now, while I'm in here, I'm gonna look at my brakes so I can lose sleep over what they look like. These are drum brakes, and we're just gonna convince them to come off. Pull the rotor off. There they are. This is not about a brake job, but you know, I've seen better, I've seen worse. The bearing is bearinging. It's probably about time. There'll be a video about a bearing soon, probably. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't make these videos because I'm some kind of expert or even because I necessarily want to help people save money. It's more because, I mean, you can probably do it. The mechanics that do this, they don't get paid enough for dealing with our garbage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not doing it to come down. I'm just saying you can probably do it. I don't know you. Now, my teenage daughter reminds me, if at this point in the video I said something about subscribing, eventually I might have enough people to buy a coffee once a year courtesy of YouTube. I don't really know how that works. But hey, I'm willing to try. So if it helped, hit the thing and do the stuff, and maybe I'll have a coffee someday. I'm gonna swing over the other side. I'll show you that again, but kind of in fast forward. If you want to hang around, you're welcome, but you've seen what you need to see. It's a simple job. Here we are on the other side. It's getting dark. Looks like it might rain, because who needs a roof? It's way more fun outside. 18 mil, 21 mil. When we put them back in, 81, 66. I think we're gonna look that up to confirm, but for now, let's spin these out. There's one right there. There we go. It's free, and this is what I'm talking about. I took mine out. See how nice that is? It's been leaking and it doesn't pass the old bounce test, and I just laid it like that. That's how it came out. We'll let the spring down. We'll get the spring out of there. And push down and wrestle that out with two hands. We're just gonna yank this. We're just gonna yank this. Yeah, just gonna yank that out of there. Oh, got it. Took this little pry bar and knock that off of there, because, you know, both springs were broken, because, you know, why not? Actually, it's because my kid had a job pulling taps at a maple tree as a spring, and just beat this over some pretty garbage roads. So, you know, now we're fixing it. Out with the old, in with the new. Here we go. down in there. We'll get our mount on the top and we'll get it in place. You're still with me. I'm not sure why. You've seen what you need. This is just a fella rambling now and a son over there moving a garbage can. Mine came all bound up, so snip those off, obviously, or they're not going to work. Use a ratchet to run that in instead of the Milwaukee, because again, if I'm going to ruin it, I want to feel it happen in real time, you know? I don't want to find out later. All right, that doesn't line up because I got it in there. The wrong, there we go, right up there. So we're just going to take the jack and just snug that up there till the hole lines up. There's no sense fighting with it. Almost there. Right there. There we go. And then a little anti-seize on the part in the bushing, a little thread locker right there. And again, I don't know if that's, don't take my advice on that one. Okay, it's all over but the torquing. 66, 81, I'm told. Your wheels are 100. Set her back down, get everything up from underneath it. We're gonna take it for a drive, make sure nothing flies apart. Oh, we're here in the car. Take it for a drive. If no wheels fall off or, you know, noises it didn't used to make are heard, we're gonna call that a win. So you can probably do it. I mean, maybe, I don't know you, but you probably can. I had an old mechanic tell me that when I was a lot younger, and I've been making a mess ever since. He felt bad for me because I couldn't afford to pay him to change, incidentally, a rear shock on a 95 Volkswagen. It was the first repair I ever did. I'm thankful for that fella. If you got people that are in your life and they're still here that you're thankful for, tell them before you can't anymore. Anyway, have a good night. I hope it helped.